Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it looks like some people fooled around and found out. Can we say fooled around?
Is that your new favorite expression?
I can't say the other one because it gets us demonetized. But they fooled around and found out what happens when you call one of the richest women in the world a Yahtzee. Looks like they're going to get sued. And I got to tell you the truth. As someone who's been on the receiving end of that myself, I think more people need to sue more often and this would stop.
Well, like I said on Twitter, and I've mentioned many times on our videos, these people have turned the word Nazi into being meaningless, which is really, really tragic because it used to mean something. There was like not much else you could think of that's worse than that.
Yeah.
It was, being called that was a massive insult. Now it just means you don't like the cartoon I liked, or you don't like the TV show I liked, or you didn't vote the way I thought you should vote, or something stupid like that. So they have already made the word meaningless.
Which does a huge disservice. I mean, for all the talk of the goblins in Harry Potter being anti-Semitic, which is only a recent thing, by the way. I mean, the movies have been around for over 2 decades, and I have only recently heard accusations that J.K. Rowling made the goblins anti-Semitic.
People said that was going on before, but if you look at goblins and you think Jewish person, there's a problem with you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But what happens is when somebody makes that accusation, or when they decide you are a certain kind of person, then they start looking for supporting evidence. So what their supporting evidence is going to be is like, well, she's a Yahtzee clearly because she wrote the goblins to be anti-Semitic, which every single commenter on that Microsoft article was like, yeah, no, that's not true.
Well, then I guess they're Nazis because they've taken the word to make it, mean nothing, so that there's nothing to throw at them.
Oh, the irony. The irony in all this. So before we get into any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over, 293, almost 294,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. We have been talking a lot about Hogwarts Legacy lately because everybody's talking about Hogwarts Legacy. It is one of the most popular games released of the last couple of years. And of course, people are going to air their grievances with J.K. Rowling. And they're going to use the game to do it because headlines, right? But now she's going to sue people if they defame her. And look, normally I'd be like, turn the other cheek. It's kind of ridiculous. Somebody just calls you names or whatever. No, what happens is these people are usually part of networks, and it's usually some kind of like coordinated attack. And they think if they repeat the term enough times, that their friends in the media will pick up on it.
But they're right. They did. Yeah, that's what happens. That's exactly what happens. They try to form this narrative because they're mad about something. And make no mistake, I believe in a lot of cases, it's a coordinated effort.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is. There are Discords and Slacks and Facebook groups where journalists and Twitter activists collude to try to get people canceled. And J.K. Rowling is, of course, the biggest target because she's one of the most famous authors in the world right now. And, Hogwarts Legacy is a huge deal. And, of course, they're just going to flippantly call people Nazis. We've been called Nazis. In fact, boy, I would love to sue Anime News Network for that one. But, we'll see. You mind your manners. We'll see where we're at. But the thing is if you defame somebody and you run with this narrative that they are something they are not, and it actually hurts their career and hurts, their public persona, then you can actually get sued for it. This has happened on multiple occasions. It happened with the CNN kid. Even freaking Quartering, he got hit by a guy at Gen Con, and that guy, the guy in a dress, the guy had to, like Princess Matt or whatever his name was, he had to apologize. Now, weirdly, the Quartering got banned from Gen Con permanently. But he still had to apologize and said, no, I do not think he is actually
Did the other person get banned from the court?
No, they did not.
Of course not.
They did not.
I'd go after Gen Con for discrimination. But, and J.K. Rowling has so much money that she could easily drag you people to court and keep dragging you to court. And it could drag you out until you run out of money and pull a Disney on you.
Yeah. God, I think more people need to do this so Twitter realizes that there are actually consequences. You can't just you can fiercely disagree with somebody, but you can't just call them Nazis. So this is coming from Fox News. Rowling critic forced to publicly apologize for calling her a Nazi after a lawsuit threat. Self-professed drag queen and jazz hands enthusiast apologized to J.K. Rowling for causing potential upset.
Wait, you literally put in their bio, jazz hands enthusiast.
Yes. So they talk about her controversy. We've talked about that at length. We don't need to go there again. But here we go. In December 2022, Rowling responded to one of her detractors. The thing about the solicitor's game is everyone can play. JJ, I ignored your hyperbolic metaphor about burning me to death in 2020. I'm starting to think that was a mistake. What's your solicitor's view on this Nazi accusation? Would they advise you to defend it in court? And this is what Jazz Hands JJ said. Wisely, she screen capped it, so we've got the whole thing. Well, to be fair, the woman in question wasn't actually being threatened with being burned alive. Hyperbolic metaphor based on her original tweet. But you know that you're playing dumb intentionally for clout. And she also is a Nazi. Or at least has views that align with them.
In what way? They never clarify in what way. I don't think these people understand what a Nazi actually is. I don't think they understand what fascism actually is.
Well, okay, so that is the failure of the public school system because we've done videos on that. There were schools that won't teach about World War II because it hurts people's feelings.
I'm just like, yeah. I'm just like, and then the okay. So wait, so if someone threatens to hurt JJ here, can't they just say that, oh, that was this hyperbolic metaphor?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, they yell and scream if someone makes a comment to them, like them, I'm going to slap you, 7 ways to Sunday. Oh my God, they threatened to hurt me. Well, maybe it's hyperbolic metaphor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You really have to be careful because here's the thing. Again, 5 or 6 years ago, I would have been like, whatever. They're just calling you names. Now we know that these people will go out of their way to try to destroy your career. They'll try to drive you to suicide.
They'll put your address out there hoping somebody else harms you and they don't have the balls to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like the doxing and stuff, that's not, they'll say, well, I just posted publicly available information, but they'll put all the information in one place with a bow tie on it, hoping, and put it in a place where they know crazy people congregate, hoping that somebody comes along and does what they fantasize about doing, but they won't actually do themselves.
Well, like they had those people talking about how there was the one feminist convention was it UK, and they had people coming in, women of color, Muslim women coming in, and they were like, someone should burn the hotel down.
It was a comic book artist.
Mm-hmm.
It was a
turfs.
Yeah, it was a guy who's been the guy that was involved in that. This guy has been stalking comic book creators on YouTube, YouTube comics creators for years. And he was just like, we should burn the building down. Like, what is wrong with you?
I don't think most people have problems with trans women. They have problems with the fact that this small group is not even representative of all the trans women. And why is it always trans women and not trans men? But this small group is out there trying to say that somehow they're women and women that are born women are not. And that's the problem. You're a menstruating person, or you have to use menstruating person because trans men aren't women now or whatever. But this small group of people are trying to force their viewpoints on a much larger group of people, and that larger group of people who were a minority, were protected. They don't believe they should have any rights now because they should only have the rights, and that's why it's okay to threaten to burn down a hotel with a feminist group in it.
Yeah, this is reached peak insanity. And what is?
Oh, give them time. They'll probably find another peak.
The problem is you're actually hurting your cause. When you become militant like this, you're actually hurting your cause. It's like the bans on Hogwarts Legacy and harassing streamers and all that stuff. Even left-wingers, even Hassan Abi was like, you've gone too far. This is crazy. I was actually going to stream it and give the money to like the Trevor Project or something, like some charity, and you screwed that up.
And all it's doing is creating more division, more hate, more distrust between people. And it doesn't need to be this way. And we keep saying, like, years ago, it wasn't like this. And for all their work come so far. No, you haven't. You've set us back decades with this bullshit.
God. So, the Death Eaters here. So she responded with the threat of legal action in December. Okie dokie, JJ, Jazz Hands JJ, we'll play it your way. Give my regards to your solicitor. On Monday, 2 months after the Nazi accusation, Wells issued a retraction. I would like to publicly apologize for a previous Twitter thread where I interacted with J.K. Rowling on matters relating to the transgender community. I have now removed these tweets and would like to apologize to J.K. Rowling directly for causing potential upset. I would also like to retract my likening to J.K. Rowling to any far-right or Nazi organization and emphasize I do not wish any individual, inclusive of J.K. Rowling, to come to any harm. Yeah, lawyer wrote that. Wrote that.
So she must have followed through.
Yeah. this needs to happen more often. I'm going to tell you the truth. Like, you can call people names, whatever, but again, the intention isn't just to make them feel bad. The intention is to destroy their lives, get that label to stick, hopefully get them to kill themselves or something. I mean, these people are absolutely vicious and malicious. They're not going to do anything, but they're going to try to weaponize other people to do stuff.
Right, that's exactly what they're trying to do. Like, they'll make the bullets want somebody else to fire them, so they say, oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I got all these people upset. I went out deliberately to upset people to get them riled up. And then I said,
No
oh,
pun
there they
intended.
are.
No pun
Yeah.
intended.
There they are.
Yeah.
Go, that's where they live. Go get them. And then something happens. But I'm innocent. I didn't do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. You know, and the thing is she's got more money now because of people like you, JJ, because you threatened her, you dogpiled her. All these people are calling for a boycott of Hogwarts Legacy because of all the backlash, because of her being targeted. And she was one of the most beloved authors of, you know, the last century. Because of all this, you actually guaranteed that she's going to make Hogwarts money for years to come. She's going to make Wizarding World money for years to come. And if she has to use a little bit of that to smack a bitch here and there, you do what you got to do.
Well,
right?
I just think it's funny because then there's other news sites talking about how her grandkids are going to have money and someone should just punch them. You know?
Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Well, yeah, she's got a podcast coming up. She's going to talk with Barry Weiss, I think, about it. And they're kind of promoting that right now. But yeah, she's been canceled harder than anybody I can think of, but it's actually backfired tremendously. I mean, it's you know, and a lot of companies now are like, yeah, she really, I mean, even if they don't, you know, agree with her, they're like, can we agree that Harry Potter's pretty good and we're going to all make money on Harry Potter? Let's just keep making Harry Potter. But, you know, to get the stick, of course, you know, they're trying to play this goblin card now. And again, I didn't hear anything about this when the movie first came out.
Apparently it was a thing, but it was a very little thing. And yeah.
So for almost 20 years, nobody really mentioned it until they decided they didn't like her. Now they're going to dig this up.
Here's the thing. When I look at the characters, I don't think, oh, it's a Jewish person. I think it's a goblin. Just like, you know, orcs. I don't think, oh my God, it's a black person. I'm just like, oh, it's an orc.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not real.
God, this is ridiculous. Yeah, so they're really reaching. I haven't seen, other than these media. Okay, it's coming from GamePure. It's not like it's another GamePure. Other than some of these journos on these outlets, I haven't seen a lot of real people mentioning this, talking about it.
No, because they're trying to create a controversy. That's what they do.
To cancel her.
Right.
They
Not just that or anything.
Yeah.
They need news, they need clicks, and they want to get their own way. So you're just gonna make up shit and generate stuff just to cause an issue. Just to try to do whatever they can. And it's like, but then they look like how istophobic are they? Because they're perpetuating this idea that goblins are stand-ins for Jewish people. How anti-Semitic of you.
Yeah, right. But nobody's having it at this point. This is going to pass.
People are onto this shit.
They're onto it.
You're welcome.
I think that the J.K. Rowling situation, the Harry Potter situation is going to be a massive tipping point, because even people that are, you know, on the left that are down with trans rights and all of that are even like, this has gone too far. It's insane. You know, you shouldn't be harassing people for playing a game that she barely had anything to do with. And yeah, you're going to fool around. You're going to get yourself sued. And it needs to happen more often. More people should get sued for trying to destroy other people's careers intentionally with lies. Now, if you're saying, hey, this person did that or whatever, but I mean, you're flat out saying she is a Nazi, which is patently untrue, and you're repeating it again and again and again.
You figure if you all say it in lockstep, it'll make it true.
Yeah.
Just because you repeat a lie 100 times doesn't make it the truth.
You're reading too much Harry Potter. It's not like a spell where you can all just like make it happen by wanting it to happen. We're gonna wrap this up. Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.